Hello, I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and what I'm about to reveal could be the missing piece that explains why you've been struggling with poor circulation, weak performance, and diminished vitality. I'm a board-certified physician with over 2 decades of experience in vascular health and men's wellness. And I've discovered something that most doctors have completely forgotten about. There's a specific mineral, one that your body desperately needs, that can literally unlock powerful circulation throughout your entire body within seconds of taking it. And when I say seconds, I mean it. This mineral works so fast and so effectively that the results are almost immediate. Before I tell you what this mineral is, I need you to understand something critical about circulation and why it matters so much. Every function in your body depends on adequate blood flow. Your brain needs blood flow to think clearly. Your muscles need blood flow to perform. Your organs need blood flow to function. And most importantly for many men, achieving and maintaining firm, reliable performance requires robust blood flow to specific areas. When circulation is impaired, everything suffers. And for men over 50, impaired circulation is epidemic. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was 58 years old when he came to my office, frustrated and embarrassed. He'd been experiencing unreliable performance for over 2 years. Sometimes things worked, sometimes they didn't. He never knew what to expect, and the anxiety was making everything worse. He'd tried the prescription medications, and while they sometimes helped, they gave him terrible headaches and made his heart race uncomfortably. Marcus wanted a natural solution that actually addressed the root cause rather than just temporarily forcing blood flow through pharmaceutical manipulation. When I ran comprehensive testing on Marcus, I discovered something shocking. His levels of this critical mineral were less than 30% of optimal. His blood vessels couldn't dilate properly because they didn't have the raw material they needed to produce the compounds that make dilation possible. I immediately put Marcus on a specific protocol using this forgotten mineral, and I told him to take it 30 minutes before intimacy. Marcus called me the next day, his voice filled with excitement. "Dr. Hart," he said, "whatever that was you gave me, it worked better than anything I've ever tried." Within 20 minutes, I could feel the difference, and my performance was strong and reliable for the first time in years. So what is this forgotten mineral that unlocks rock-hard circulation in seconds? It's magnesium, but not just any magnesium. I'm talking about a specific, highly absorbable form of magnesium that can rapidly increase nitric oxide production and cause immediate vasodilation. And before you think this sounds too simple, let me explain exactly why magnesium is so incredibly powerful for circulation and why the vast majority of men over 50 are severely deficient without even knowing it. Here's what you need to understand about circulation at the most fundamental level. Blood flow is controlled by the endothelium, which is the inner lining of your blood vessels. The endothelium produces a molecule called nitric oxide, and nitric oxide is the master regulator of blood vessel dilation. When nitric oxide is released, blood vessels relax and open up, allowing dramatically increased blood flow. Without adequate nitric oxide production, blood vessels remain constricted, blood flow is restricted, and performance becomes impossible. Magnesium is the essential cofactor that makes nitric oxide production possible. Your endothelial cells cannot produce nitric oxide without adequate magnesium. It's biochemically impossible. Magnesium activates the enzyme nitric oxide synthase, which is responsible for converting L-arginine into nitric oxide. No magnesium means no nitric oxide, and no nitric oxide means poor circulation and impaired performance. Studies have confirmed this connection beyond any doubt. Research published in the American Journal of Hypertension found that magnesium supplementation significantly improves endothelial function and increases nitric oxide production. Another study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that men with adequate magnesium levels had significantly better vascular function and performance compared to men who were deficient. The evidence is overwhelming and clear. But here's the problem. Over 75% of American men are magnesium deficient, and the percentage is even higher in men over 50. There are several reasons for this epidemic deficiency. First, modern agricultural practices have depleted magnesium from the soil, which means even if you eat vegetables, they contain far less magnesium than they did 50 years ago. Second, chronic stress depletes magnesium rapidly because your body uses magnesium to manage stress hormones. Third, common medications including blood pressure drugs, acid reflux medications, and diuretics all deplete magnesium. Fourth, as we age, our ability to absorb magnesium from food decreases significantly. The result is that most men over 50 are walking around with severely inadequate magnesium levels, and their circulation is suffering dramatically as a consequence. Their blood vessels can't produce enough nitric oxide to dilate properly. Blood flow is restricted, and performance becomes weak or non-existent. But here's the remarkable part. When you restore optimal magnesium levels, especially using rapid-acting forms, circulation improves almost immediately. Let me share another patient story. David was 62 and had completely given up on spontaneous intimacy. He'd been relying on prescription medications, but they took forever to work, gave him side effects, and made intimacy feel mechanical and planned rather than natural. When I tested David's magnesium levels, they were shockingly low. I put him on a protocol using magnesium glycinate, which is one of the most absorbable forms, at a dose of 400 milligrams taken 30 to 45 minutes before anticipated intimacy. David was skeptical, but willing to try. The first time he used it, he couldn't believe the results. Within 30 minutes, he felt increased warmth and sensation throughout his body. His performance was strong, natural, and sustained without any of the side effects he'd experienced with medications. David told me that magnesium had given him back spontaneity and confidence that he thought were gone forever. Now let me explain exactly how to use magnesium for immediate circulation benefits and long-term vascular health, because both the form and the timing matter enormously. Not all magnesium supplements are created equal. Most drugstore magnesium supplements use magnesium oxide, which has extremely poor absorption. Only about 4% of magnesium oxide gets absorbed by your body, and the rest causes digestive upset. For rapid circulation effects, you need highly absorbable forms of magnesium. The best options are magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate, magnesium malate, or magnesium threonate. These forms have absorption rates of 50% or higher, which means they get into your bloodstream quickly and start working fast. Magnesium glycinate is my top recommendation because it's highly absorbable, doesn't cause digestive issues, and has a calming effect that reduces performance anxiety. For immediate effects before intimacy, take 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium glycinate 30 to 45 minutes beforehand. This timing allows the magnesium to be absorbed, transported to your endothelial cells, and activate nitric oxide production right when you need it. Most men report feeling increased warmth, sensation, and blood flow within 20 to 30 minutes of taking magnesium this way. But magnesium isn't just for acute use. Daily magnesium supplementation provides cumulative benefits that improve baseline circulation dramatically. I recommend that all men over 50 take at least 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily, split into 2 doses, one in the morning and one in the evening. This maintains optimal magnesium levels continuously, which means your blood vessels can produce nitric oxide efficiently all the time, not just when you take a supplement. Let me tell you about Richard. Richard was 56 and had been experiencing progressively worsening circulation issues: cold hands and feet, occasional chest discomfort, brain fog, fatigue, and of course, performance problems. When I tested his magnesium, the levels were critically low. I put Richard on 600 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily, divided into morning and evening doses. Within 2 weeks, Richard reported that his hands and feet weren't cold anymore. His energy had improved. His mental clarity was better, and his performance had returned to reliable strength. 3 months later, Richard's circulation had improved so dramatically that his blood pressure, which had been borderline high, had normalized completely. His doctor was able to reduce his blood pressure medication. Richard told me that he felt like his entire cardiovascular system had been rebooted, and all from simply restoring adequate magnesium levels. Here's something else that's critically important. Magnesium works synergistically with other nutrients to maximize circulation. When you combine magnesium with L-citrulline, which is an amino acid that also boosts nitric oxide production, the effects are amplified dramatically. L-citrulline converts to L-arginine in your body, and then magnesium helps convert that L-arginine into nitric oxide. Together, they create a powerful 1-2 punch for circulation. I recommend combining 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate with 3 to 6 grams of L-citrulline for maximum acute effects. Take this combination 30 to 45 minutes before intimacy, and the results are typically remarkable. Blood flow increases dramatically, performance improves substantially, and the effects last for several hours. Let me share the story of Thomas. Thomas was 67 and had severe circulation problems. His performance had been essentially non-existent for 3 years, despite trying multiple prescription medications. His doctor told him that at his age, he should just accept that this part of his life was over. When I tested Thomas's magnesium, it was barely detectable. I put him on a protocol of 600 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily for baseline support, plus an additional 400 milligrams combined with 6 grams of L-citrulline before intimacy. The first time Thomas tried this protocol, he experienced what he described as a miracle. Strong, sustained performance for the first time in years, with no side effects whatsoever. Thomas continued this protocol and found that even his baseline function improved over time. After 6 months of daily magnesium supplementation, Thomas's vascular health had improved so much that he didn't always need the pre-intimacy boost. His body had healed to the point where it could produce adequate nitric oxide on its own. Now let me address magnesium's effects beyond just intimate performance, because healthy circulation affects every aspect of your health and vitality. When your circulation is optimized through adequate magnesium, your brain receives better blood flow, which means improved mental clarity, better memory, and enhanced cognitive function. Your muscles receive better blood flow, which means improved strength, endurance, and faster recovery from exercise. Your heart receives better blood flow through the coronary arteries, which reduces your risk of cardiovascular events. Magnesium also has profound effects on blood pressure. Multiple studies have shown that magnesium supplementation can reduce blood pressure by 10 to 15 points in people with hypertension. This happens because magnesium relaxes blood vessels throughout your entire vascular system, reducing the resistance that creates high blood pressure. Many of my patients have been able to reduce or eliminate blood pressure medications simply by restoring optimal magnesium levels. There's also the energy connection. Magnesium is required for ATP production, which is the energy currency of your cells. When you're magnesium deficient, your cells can't produce energy efficiently, which leads to chronic fatigue. Many men are shocked to discover that their persistent tiredness wasn't because of age or low testosterone, it was simply magnesium deficiency. When they restore optimal levels, their energy increases dramatically. Let me tell you about James. James was 54 and complained of being exhausted all the time. He could barely get through his workday without needing multiple naps. He'd been tested for thyroid problems, low testosterone, and various other conditions. But everything came back normal. When I tested his magnesium, it was extremely low. I put James on 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate twice daily. Within 1 week, James's energy had increased noticeably. Within 1 month, his chronic fatigue had completely resolved. He had steady energy throughout the entire day and couldn't believe such a simple intervention had solved a problem that had plagued him for years. Magnesium also dramatically reduces inflammation throughout your body. Chronic inflammation is one of the primary drivers of vascular damage and poor circulation. Magnesium activates hundreds of anti-inflammatory pathways in your body, reducing inflammatory markers by 30 to 50% in many people. Less inflammation means healthier blood vessels, better endothelial function, and improved circulation. There's also a powerful effect on sleep quality. Magnesium activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest mode. It helps your brain produce GABA, which is a calming neurotransmitter. Many men find that when they take magnesium in the evening, they fall asleep faster, sleep more deeply, and wake up more refreshed. Better sleep means better testosterone production, which further supports circulation and performance. Let me share one more powerful story. Michael was 69 years old and had multiple health problems: high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, chronic fatigue, brain fog, and complete inability to perform intimately. His doctors had him on 6 different medications and told him his conditions were just part of aging. When I tested Michael's magnesium, his levels were so low, I was surprised he was functioning at all. I put Michael on an aggressive magnesium protocol, 600 milligrams of magnesium glycinate twice daily, plus additional magnesium for acute circulation needs. Within 2 weeks, Michael's blood pressure had dropped significantly. Within 1 month, his blood sugar levels had improved dramatically. Within 3 months, his energy had returned, his mental clarity was sharp, and his performance had been restored. Michael's doctors were stunned and asked what he'd been doing. When he told them it was primarily magnesium supplementation, they were skeptical but couldn't argue with the results. Now, let me give you specific protocols for different situations. For general health and baseline circulation support, take 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate twice daily, morning and evening with food. For acute circulation enhancement before intimacy, take an additional 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium glycinate 30 to 45 minutes beforehand. For maximum effects, combine the magnesium with 3 to 6 grams of L-citrulline. For men with severe circulation problems or multiple vascular issues, I recommend a more aggressive approach. 600 milligrams of magnesium glycinate twice daily for baseline support, plus the acute pre-intimacy protocol as needed. Continue this for at least 3 months to allow your vascular system to heal and optimize fully. I also recommend getting your magnesium levels tested. Ask your doctor for a red blood cell magnesium test, not a serum magnesium test. Serum magnesium doesn't accurately reflect your body's actual magnesium stores because your body maintains serum levels at the expense of depleting magnesium from your tissues. Red blood cell magnesium gives you a much more accurate picture of your true magnesium status. Here are some important safety considerations. Magnesium is very safe for most people, but if you have kidney disease, you should work with your doctor on magnesium supplementation because impaired kidneys can't excrete excess magnesium properly. If you're on certain medications, particularly antibiotics or bisphosphonates, magnesium can interfere with their absorption, so take magnesium at least 2 hours away from these medications. And if you take very high doses of magnesium, you might experience loose stools, which is a sign to reduce your dose slightly. Let me also mention that you can increase magnesium through food sources. though it's difficult to get therapeutic amounts from food alone given how depleted our food supply is. The best food sources of magnesium include dark leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, pumpkin seeds, almonds, dark chocolate with at least 75% cacao, avocados, and fatty fish like salmon and mackerel. Eating these foods regularly provides additional magnesium, along with other beneficial nutrients. There's also the transdermal route. Magnesium can be absorbed through your skin, and some men find that magnesium oil spray applied to the skin provides additional benefits. I recommend spraying magnesium oil on your legs, arms, and torso in the evening. It can cause a tingling sensation initially, which is normal. Leave it on for 20 to 30 minutes and then rinse off if desired. Transdermal magnesium doesn't provide the acute circulation boost that oral magnesium does, but it contributes to your overall magnesium status. Here's something else that's important to understand. Magnesium deficiency creates a vicious cycle. When you're deficient, your blood vessels can't produce adequate nitric oxide, which means circulation is impaired. Poor circulation leads to reduced delivery of nutrients and oxygen to your tissues, which impairs their function. This includes impaired function of your digestive system, which means you absorb even less magnesium from your food, making the deficiency worse. Supplementation breaks this cycle by providing magnesium in amounts high enough to overcome absorption limitations and restore optimal levels. Let me give you a 30-day protocol to restore optimal magnesium levels and dramatically improve your circulation. Days 1 through 7, start with 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate once daily in the evening. This allows your body to adjust without digestive upset. Days 8 through 14, increase to 400 milligrams twice daily, morning and evening. Notice improvements in sleep quality, energy, and overall well-being. Days 15 through 21, continue the twice-daily protocol and experiment with the acute pre-intimacy protocol. Take an additional 400 milligrams with 3 grams of L-citrulline 30 to 45 minutes before intimacy. Notice the dramatic circulation effects. Days 22 through 30, maintain the full protocol and track all improvements: circulation, performance, energy, sleep, mental clarity, and overall vitality. By day 30, most men experience transformative improvements. Circulation is dramatically enhanced. Performance is strong and reliable. Energy levels are substantially higher. Sleep quality is better. Mental clarity is sharper. Many men report feeling 10 to 15 years younger, simply from restoring optimal magnesium levels. The truth is that magnesium deficiency is one of the most common and most overlooked causes of poor circulation and performance problems in men over 50. It's a simple nutritional deficiency, but the consequences are devastating: weak blood flow, impaired performance, chronic fatigue, brain fog, and increased risk of serious cardiovascular events. Yet mainstream medicine almost never checks magnesium levels or considers supplementation as a frontline treatment. This forgotten mineral is the key that unlocks rock-hard circulation, not through pharmaceutical manipulation, but through providing your body with an essential nutrient it desperately needs to function properly. When you restore optimal magnesium levels, your endothelial cells can produce adequate nitric oxide, your blood vessels can dilate fully, blood flow increases dramatically, and performance becomes strong, reliable, and natural. You don't have to accept poor circulation as inevitable. You don't have to rely on expensive medications with unpleasant side effects. You don't have to feel like this part of your life is over. The solution is simpler than you think. Restore optimal magnesium levels using highly absorbable forms, and watch as your circulation, performance, and overall vitality transform dramatically. Starting today, commit to the 30-day magnesium protocol I've outlined. Purchase high-quality magnesium glycinate and L-citrulline. Take them consistently according to the protocol. Track your improvements carefully. And prepare to be amazed at how dramatically such a simple intervention can transform your vascular health and quality of life. This forgotten mineral holds the key to unlocking circulation you thought was gone forever. The power to restore strong, reliable blood flow is in your hands, and it starts with giving your body the magnesium it's been desperately lacking. Thank you for watching, and here's to your powerful circulation, renewed performance, and vibrant vascular health.